Hello, I hope everyone's doing well. So this video is not going to be a live video, solely because it has taken me like 3 different attempts to get on here and actually like make this video, which is the other half of the first video that I did. And hold on, let me get my paper out with my notes from last time. So the last video that I uploaded, I talked a lot about like what do we need to release, what do we need to burn up, you know, like especially if you live in an area where it is safe to have a bonfire or like a small little tiny outdoor fire. That can be a really great way to release things. It can be a really great way to release attachments that you're holding on to. So we talked a lot about that in the last video. So if you didn't see that, and if you want to listen to some of that, that's the beginning half. I'd say probably like the first like 5-10 minutes into the video. I'm sorry, skip past like the first like 5-10 minutes of the video, and then I think I really start talking about it because my mind's like all over the place in that video. So I apologize. But there was a lot of information coming in, and I am going to do a completely separate video on the on everything that I discussed in the first video. So I will not go into detail because I want to keep this video pretty short. Not like short, but I just don't want to like have a lot of side quests in my conversation because I'm like there's a lot of information that I have to get out, so bear with me. And like honestly my brain just kind of like goes like that, like it just goes back and forth like to all these different topics, so it is what it is. But so yeah, releasing, if you are able to track the things that you have affinities and attachments towards, that makes everything so much easier. And that's why like keeping a journal can be really helpful, because you can pick up on your own patterns. And once you pick up on your own patterns and you're like aware of yourself, then these things kind of become a lot easier to be like, oh, okay, I need a minute, like, you know, like I need to like let this go, or I need to sit with this, or whatever it might be. But yeah, and I know that like weather and the seasons are different depending on wherever you are in the world seeing this video. So if you are able to have a little fire, that would be probably like, in my opinion, from just experience, like when you have like a journal or a piece of paper that has a lot of things on it that you're like, okay, like I'm ready to like really release this, there's just something about watching it kind of go into the fire and then become a part of the air again. Like it, like there's something about that can be very healing. But in the same sense, if you are not able to have a fire, don't worry, because, you know, you want to be safe no matter what you're doing. Like, safety over everything, you know, like, be smart here. And definitely check in with, like, the area that you live in. Like I mentioned in the first video, check in with the area that you're living in just to make sure that it's, like, a fire-safe time period, because I know that there's a lot going on with like wildfires and stuff in different areas, or at least there was like not that long ago. Okay, let me go through I'm reading off my little note thing that I have here that is extremely important, because I like this all is going to tie into this, especially with the way that I've been trying to make this video. Like, it has been one thing after another. So I really feel like the other half, because I believe that I did air and fire, but water and earth, it's like you guys are like dealing with like maybe some distractions or just different things popping up, like popping up. And I find it to be very interesting because it's like every time I had the intention to sit down and do the video, something would pop up or something would make itself known where it's like, okay, I gotta do this, or okay, I gotta do this, okay, this requires me to do this first, okay, I gotta sit down and do this, I almost forgot about this. So maybe that's a theme. Maybe that's gonna be a thing coming up. Maybe there could be an emphasis on prioritizing things, prioritizing a schedule. And also as I'm like sitting here speaking, I'm like cleaning, which is kind of unusual because usually I'm not like focused on that during videos and stuff. But there might be something that like you have to clean up, whether it be symbolically, metaphorically, like actually physically. Even just right before I sat down to do this video, I have a cat, and he threw up, like, you know, casual 3 times. You know, it's just, that's kind of, like, he's fine. Like, it's just, he eats really fast sometimes. If there's multiple people in the house that I live, and so if somebody doesn't know that somebody just gave the cat a little bit of food, and they give him a little bit more, he'll eat it super fast, and then unfortunately throw up. But he's okay. It's like I've talked to the vet and stuff, and he's an orange cat, so always hungry and doesn't know the size of his stomach. But he's fine. But still, it's like that energy of like just before coming down to sit down to do this video, it was a chaos. And so I'm like, not like bad chaos, but like chaos is in like things going on that you're like, okay, I didn't expect that to happen. So maybe there's a theme of that coming up, but there is still this really, really strong emphasis on releasing the things that you might be holding on to. Another thing, sorry, I just put hand sanitizer on, and strong. Ugh. Okay, so remember, everything is living, and I really think that that's something that sometimes we forget. Like, we forget that we can go outside and talk to the trees, believe it or not. We forget that we can go outside and sit with our plants, and sit with the grass, and sit with the flowers, and sit with the bugs, and the insects, and the birds, and, you know, a lot of people do talk to birds, and that is something that is also being emphasized to me right now. Speak to them. Like, tell them about things, you know? Tell them about what's going on. Speak to them as if you would be, like, speaking to your closest friend. And then we talked about heavy, dense, stagnant energy, how to release that the last time. And I asked these questions of how and where are you shining your light? Where are you pouring into, and does it pour back into you? Who am I supporting, and who is supporting me? And those were kind of the themes that we're going to take into the next part of this read for the other half of the signs. So I want to start right off the bat with Earth. I feel like I know money is an issue right now for a lot of people, understandably so. Like, you know, like everybody is at different positions when it comes to financial stuff, right? But I'm hearing, like, as I step into this energy, like if you've been really worried about money, or if you're worried about, like, maybe making another income because of, like, just the cost of living, affordability, you know, everything. I'm hearing, like, this, like, need to relax and, like, need to, like, kind of let up on yourself a little bit and go easy on yourself during this time. not in a sense of like take it easy, you know what I mean? Like if you feel called to do something, definitely like listen to your intuition, but I definitely feel like there's a need to not put so much pressure on yourself during this time frame. You could have somebody coming in to help you. You could have a friend, a partner. You could already have a partner, a romantic partner. That person could be helping you. You have the Lovers here. And so in the last video, I also talked about the direction that I want to take the channel and how I don't want to always focus on love and relationships, but sometimes in the reading, it's going to come up because like the way that I read my cards, I read from all different kinds of angles. And so I just want everyone to keep that in mind, that I'm going to be jumping around from different perspectives and angles throughout this video. Because I want to break the cards down in the best way that I can break them down. Because these cards are very multi-faceted, I guess. I don't know why that word's coming to me, but these cards speak more than just relationships. They speak about you. And so this is your journey, right? When you have your journey, you have to listen to your intuition. You have the High Priestess here with the Lovers. And so sometimes, like, with the Lovers and the High Priestess, it's like something being very, like, orchestrated almost is really the word that's coming to me. You could have somebody that comes in and, like, you could have somebody that comes in and just, like, is really a helpful hand during a time when you really need it. This could be somebody that you already know, somebody from your past. But this is somebody, I feel like this is somebody you have a connection with, like a deeper connection with. Not just a surface, like acquaintance level. This would be a very, like, endearing connection. This is a very, or even like a connection where it's like you've met somebody and it's like you just know that you're like kind of connected with this person, like you get them, but like you know, like I don't know how to, okay, I'm trying to put this together. Like when you meet somebody you just like right off the bat become really good friends, like it feels like you guys have known each other for years. That can also be at play here. Because it's like that type of like a deep knowing of each other, a deep knowing of understanding. This is also guidance. So like if you have been asking for guidance from any point of like just needing help, whether it be in guidance, it may be finding a new job, guidance, maybe finding the right person or doing the right, you know, getting on your path, whatever it might be, doing what you're supposed to be doing, there's guidance here. And I feel like it comes in the form of another person, in a sense where you hit this point, you open yourself up, and then here comes this person who is either going to offer like some type of emotional support or some type of like emotional understanding or like acknowledgement of whatever it might be, where it's going to make you feel connected. It might not be romantic, it might be platonic, you know, but there's a strong connection here. I also have Temperance and the Hermit. And so there is some healing going on here. And so if I wanted to pull this out like I did, the 3 and then the Hermit would come down here. That's interesting. Okay, so another thing that I'm seeing here is this could actually be somebody coming back around to balance something out. Somebody may be at a distance, and the person at the distance has been doing a lot of thinking. Maybe you have friends at a distance and you like miss each other, you're planning a trip to go see each other, and this trip is going to be very healing. It's gonna involve a lot of like inner child happiness. Like, you know, because, like, you know, when you just get together with friends and you just have a good time, and it's like you feel like you're, you know, in high school again, and you're laughing and just, like, you know, having a sleepover, whatever it might be. And for men or whatever, you know, it might be, everybody's definition of that looks different. Like, maybe you get together and you go out and you go to the game, or whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like a close companionship. And I'm saying from my perspective, because I identify as a woman, so I'm just like, from my perspective, this is how I would read the cards. But if I were to put myself in a different gender, you can make it the same level of that friendship, whatever those activities would be. It doesn't have to be a sleepover. It doesn't have to be like, you know, girls' night. It, like, you guys could get together and, you know, go to a car hangout. You guys could get together and go to a show. You guys could get together and just spend quality time together. I see, like, hiking could be a really big thing. Camping could be a really big thing. Nature, outdoors. It's like getting together with friends, getting together with people who bring a good connection and it's healing energy in, because there is a energy here where somebody or individual energies have been kind of in like a hermit mode, maybe taking time out. Like, maybe Earth, like, if this is you, you're in the hermit, maybe you've taken some time out. Maybe you're like, hey, I need to kind of take a step back and look at things, because the hermit is not looking at the rest of this. The hermit is looking down and going in this direction, kind of towards the past, where the high priestess and temperance is here in the present and coming towards you in the future. So if there's something in the past that's like kind of keeping you stuck, I don't know, you might even have like a moment where you're like driving your car and you just like think about something and something just clicks and it just makes sense, or somebody reaches out to you. I'm also going back to, if this is like love related, this could be somebody at a distance wanting to balance things out, wanting to maybe acknowledge the connection. But this hermit, there's something about this hermit that's like a little bit distant. If it's like in a relationship sense, it's a little bit distant. It might be for personal reasons. So if that's like you, the viewer, personal reasons can mean anything. I mean, like, you could just be focusing on work. You could just be focusing on school. I mean, the hermit really does deal with soul searching to a degree, but you could be soul searching, like, you could be transitioning out of a career and like making a different step into your life and be like, okay, like, I need to like kind of do some inner work here. I need to reflect a little bit about like, what do I want to invest in for the next, you know, whatever chapter of my life. So it could be that. But I'm seeing a lot of intuition here as well, where there's intuition that's really coming into play. And I really feel like if there is another person here, I kind of get the vibe you might already know this person, or you've met them like once or twice before. Because temperance has to do a lot with patience and healing and growth, and like, it's like 1 foot in the water, 1 foot out of the water, wanting to balance the cups. Maybe things didn't go the way that they maybe expected in the past, because the hermit is really what draws me into the past, because of the direction that the card is in and the way that it's looking into the past of something with the lovers above it. Could be soul searching about a connection. You could be like reflecting on a situation. You could be like, I need some time to reflect on maybe a connection. Maybe you're in reflection. Because it's not always another person. It could be you. You're the maybe you're the person who's really thinking about a past connection, wanting to balance it out. And it's like you have a lot of intuition that's trying to come through here. And lots of symbols of partners. So it's like, are you thinking about a connection? Are you... Because you see the light on something, because the hermit has the light. but there's a decision that might be keeping you stuck. So it's like, listen to your intuition here, because with the Hermit and the Two of Swords, this tells me you're in a decision-making kind of mindset, or someone is in a decision-making mindset. And the Two of Swords also kind of sometimes doesn't want to deal with something that's being shown to them. Because the Two of Swords is a little dicey sometimes. It can be, it's a mental thing. Where you don't have, it's like something started to come out, something started to reveal itself, and then like needing to make a decision but not wanting to make the decision just yet, having to trust your intuition through the whole process of it, because the High Priestess is over the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords has a blindfold on. This is having to trust your inner voice, having to trust your intuition, having to trust whatever you identify as a higher power, if that's how you identify. You could, like, somebody could be really thinking about something here, and it could have to do with a partnership, it could have to do with a business, it could have to do with something that has to do with the past. And the reason why I say business is because I see opportunity here with the Hermit, and I don't see it 100% from just a romantic point. Like, this could be two people coming together and it transforms into something that can lead to material value. However you want to describe that, whether it be a business, whether it be a little side project, whatever it is. But I also feel it brings emotional fulfillment, it brings patience, but there's something that needed to be balanced out before it could be brought back in. And I feel like it has to do with the past, again, because the Hermit has their back to all of this, and they're looking towards the past. And it's like having to do a deep inner reflection, knowing that you have to make a decision, having a good idea of the decision that you have to make, but not really knowing how to go about it just yet, or like not trusting yourself even just kind of popped out like into my mind, where it's like, do you trust yourself to make this decision? Are you trusting yourself to make this decision? Is the person that this could be maybe trusting themselves to make this decision? Maybe they don't want to see it just yet, or maybe they don't want to deal with it just yet. Maybe they're waiting for something to balance out before they make a decision. So we have the Five of Pentacles and we have the Six of Cups. Okay, so I could definitely see how this could be, in a sense, dealing with a partnership or a relationship or with another connection, because the Five of Pentacles is like, don't want to be left out in the cold, but I want to rekindle something with the Six of Cups. Still having feelings, still having feelings, still having emotion, maybe still having fond memories of someone. But then with this Five of Pentacles, it's like kind of being left out in the cold. And again, with that finances, it's like being in a position, like I just heard, like being strapped in a position. Like, I don't know if somebody is financially strapped, because like, you know, like maybe they're not in a financial position where they can like give a whole lot to a situation, or maybe they don't have a lot to maybe invest with. But see, it's not all about money though, but maybe you're dealing with somebody who's very focused on money. And that could be why I mentioned like this emphasis of like, if you're worried about money, try to let that go, because there could be somebody coming in here who's going to help you, or who's going to offer you some type of emotional help. Might not be financial help, but there could be emotional support here where you don't feel so alone. So you could be dealing with somebody who really is stressed out about money, or really stressed out about where they are financially, or how they're going to get something financially, or how they're going to achieve something, or like, I mean, honestly, I can understand that, especially because of the cost of living and how things are today. It's tough, and somebody could be very focused on that right now. But there's something else here where it looks like a friendship, a companionship, a relationship, of whatever it might be, family even, that it's like they like wanting to balance the situation out, wanting to offer a little bit of support, like even like wanting to be out in the cold with you. See what I mean? Like there's this emphasis there. And the Six of Cups tells me that this is something that's very fond. There's good memories here. There's something positive here. There's wanting to rekindle, because especially sitting under the Two of Swords, it's like you're thinking about it. You're thinking about it. This is somebody that you definitely connected with at one point, if it's a person. Now, if I want to look at this as an opportunity, this could be somebody making a decision, and then like you have this aha moment because somebody like kind of like you could strike up a conversation with somebody and they could just give you an idea, and like that idea takes you from a lack of mindset to a more prosperous mindset of possibilities. So it could be like a very inspiring conversation that unfolds here that could pertain to finances. It could pertain to stability, but it could be just a good connection, like a good friend, like somebody who comes in and you just click. It's just somebody who could maybe spark an idea within you, or maybe temper some of those anxieties. That's interesting. Let me see how else I can look at this. If this is you, you could be balancing your own thoughts right now, because you could be thinking about going back to something that maybe you did in the past. Like you could be in a position right now and you're like, I don't really like the position I'm in now. I want to redo whatever I did in the past. Whether it be a job, or maybe you went to school for something and you never finished and you're like, I'm going back to school and I'm going to do this. You're rekindling something from your past that is going to help balance and temper these anxieties, because I'm getting anxiety, and I know that this isn't the Nine of Swords, but I'm feeling financial anxiety off of that, and feeling left out in the cold, regardless of whatever situation that would have been that made you feel that way. You could be going back to an idea that you had in the past, where it's like you could be in a state of meditation. And meditation looks different for everybody, okay? Meditation is not just sitting down and closing your eyes, okay? Meditation could be riding a bike. Meditation could be running. Meditation could be walking. Meditation could be just simply being quiet out in nature. But something will probably reveal itself when you're doing an activity like that, because your mind is in a better flow state, or your mind it's able to let down some of those like walls, because we're reconnecting. And even just the act of going outside and like looking at trees and hearing the birds really grounds you back to earth signs. So if you're having a hard time making a decision about something, go outside. Go outside and walk around, or sit in the grass, or ride your bike, or ride a bike, or walk, or run. Whatever it is that you love to do, go do it. And see if your thoughts become more linear, I should say. Because there's definitely like a decision here. Whether it be like an idea about something or a person. But again, you could have somebody from the past coming back too. It's here in the cards with the Six of Cups and the Lovers. You could be dealing with somebody from the past, and they could come back and they want to balance something out because they feel left out in the cold, or the situation felt left out in the cold, or it ended with this feeling. And so now somebody is trying to make a decision on whether or not maybe this is going to be received well. You could have somebody who is maybe thinking about this. Maybe if you've had like choppy communication with somebody, there's something going on where just do you. Focus on you, okay? Focus on what makes you happy. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry if somebody went no contact with you. Don't worry about that. Don't even think about it. Because when you give that energy, it actually acts like a repellent. So being in your self energy is the best way to just deal with anything, whether it's a relationship, stress, anything. Just identify with your self energy and trust that if this person or whoever, if anyone is meant to come forward, they're going to come forward, okay? The right people are going to come forward no matter what. And trust that the universe is doing you a favor by keeping certain people away. So, you know, I ain't got time for that. But because I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, this person is blah, blah, blah. Like, no, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. You worry about yourself. Don't worry about what this person's doing. If you are dealing with somebody, you intuitively know. Don't doubt yourself. Don't gaslight yourself. You intuitively know. But don't lose yourself in the process of it. You know, let that person grow. Let them do what they have to do. And if it's meant to be, trust that it'll come back together. Simple as that. And don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Worry about you. Do things that you love to do. You know, make a list of all the things that you've been meaning to do but you haven't done, and go do them. Literally, enjoy your own time. Take yourself out on a date. You might end up getting a great idea while you're out and about on your own. You see what I'm saying? Like, something could come through. There's a lot of independent energy here. Especially with the Hermit, because the Hermit's somebody who's reflecting. So maybe you're letting go of something in the past, and it's like, yes, let go of whatever it is and focus on yourself. If that's what you're feeling called, listen to that voice. Sometimes it can be such a quiet voice, but we really have to tune in and listen to it, because it's the quiet voice where it's like, you know, that little part of us that's like, we really need a beach trip this weekend. Yeah, take that beach trip. Go on that beach trip. Don't gaslight yourself out of it. You deserve to go have a little bit of fun. There are ways to do things. Just set the intention. Even if it's a day trip, just drive down for the day. Drive down to a body of water. Drive down to a lake. Drive down somewhere that makes you happy. Doesn't have to be a big grand event. You know what I'm saying? Just, you deserve that time for you. And if you have kids, you deserve that. You deserve that. The babies deserve that too. They do. They're part of that. You know? Embrace that time. Because as kids, you're only young once. You know, you're only a kid for such a short period of your life. Such a short period of time. And it's so amazing to, like, be that young and to, like, have that, you know, it's like that no societal pressure, no stress from, you know, bills and the government stuff and all the crazy adult stuff that we deal with, right? Like, there's something very innocent here. And even if you have children, like, it's like, take that trip, you know what I mean? Embrace that time with them, because I feel like even with children, and I'm pulling off of, like, the Six of Cups here, even with children, like, sometimes just being with our children or being around, like, if you have children in your family or friends who have kids, like, just being around them is healing in itself, because it reminds you of that we all are still children at heart, and we need to nurture that part of ourselves. You know, it's super important to always connect with that parts of ourselves, because being an adult is hard. It's tough. Like, they don't ever prepare you for that. And so it's like, I'm just seeing, like, this childlike energy where it's like, you know, protect that. Embrace that. Take some time out. you know? So I'm going to move forward to water, okay? Because that is getting to be a little bit repetitive. Repetitive. I don't even know if that's a word. Repetitive. Yeah, it is. This is literally what happens. Like, I get, like, can't, like, remember if words are words sometimes when I'm, like, reading cards, so I apologize. Okay, let's do water. Oof. Okay, so you guys might be walking away from something. Wah, wah, wah. Got the Five of Swords. Came out reversed, but I'm going to read it both ways. This is mental conflict. This is a lot of, like, self-doubt energy, too, and competitiveness. Like, sometimes with the Five of Swords, I always interpret this as, like, maybe there's some mental energy going on where you're in competition with other people. You don't have to be in competition with other people. Just know that. You're not in competition with other people. You just be you. If you are experiencing, like, intrusive thoughts or self-doubt, you can overcome them. Maybe people have told you things in the past and it's just kind of stuck with you. Let's try and let that go, right? The Queen of Pentacles. And we have Judgment. Interesting. Are you at odds about something? You might be dealing with Earth. You have Judgment here. Huh. Judgment's definitely, like, making a decision about something. Queen of, yeah. There's something here that's causing you some mental conflict. Could be a decision. That's... Okay. The Lovers again with the Wheel of Fortune. I'm hearing, like, what goes around comes around. So if you're at odds with a connection, I feel like someone's gonna just let the universe just kind of handle it. If you're at odds with a situation with somebody, I feel like you're just gonna let the universe handle it. I feel like you're giving the judgment to spirit or whomever you connect with as a higher power, your ancestors, whomever. I feel like you're giving it to them, and you're like, I'm checked out right now. You're like, mentally, I don't want to deal with this. But it could have to do with partnership. This Lovers is very, very, very prominent. Very prominent. If you've had people come back around from the past, because I know we just had a bunch of retrogrades and stuff, and I've had people from my past too coming back, and, you know, some positive, some not so positive. So I know I'm not the only one. So you could be dealing with that. And it's like you're just kind of letting the wheel spin. I almost feel like there's this, with the Queen of Pentacles, because the Queen of Pentacles is very, like, in control of how they feel, which is interesting for it being water. But there is water popping up in, like, the backgrounds of these cards, which I find interesting. So, for, like, the water signs, are you guys, like... are you guys, like, practicing, like, stoicism or something? Like, I don't, like... Let me look that up. Hold on. I just want to make sure I got the right definition in my mind. Okay, so philosophy emphasizing virtues, the soul good, and focusing on internal control over external factors. It encourages living in accordance with nature, cultivating reason, developing virtues like wisdom, justice, courage, temperance to achieve a state of inner peace and well-being. Stoics believe that the virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance is the only true good, and that external things are indifferent. Interesting. Okay, so there could be somebody, like, kind of in this energy, actually, of just maybe trying to get a little bit more of a control over their emotions. Like, I get it. Like, you know, I got water in my chart, too, and it took me a little while to regulate my emotions. I'm not gonna bullshit with anybody. We're human. We have emotions. But the Queen of Pentacles is more grounded in that way. So I'm like, I think water might be grounding right now. Or like focusing on grounding. Because there could be quite a few things popping up here. But I feel like a lot of it's mental. Because it's the Five of Swords. And it's like thoughts. And it's like opportunity with the Pentacle. Could be a job. You could meet somebody who offers you, like, or you can meet somebody and it's like brings you some type of stability in a sense. And then again with that Five of Pentacles being in the same spot as it was for Earth. Interesting. You guys might be very closely linked in that way. You guys have a lot of the same cards. In energetic sense, like the vibes are very similar to Earth. I feel like somebody might, okay, I'm going to go in a couple different directions. I feel like somebody might be dealing with a situation where somebody comes back from the past. It causes a lot of mental conflict because you're like, what does this person want? What, like, haven't talked to them in X amount of years, whatever. Wheel of Fortune's here, and it's like kind of being up to, like, it's up to you, but you're giving it up to the universe. And something maybe in the past was left out in the cold, or it didn't end right, or maybe didn't end the way that both people wanted it to end. Both people felt a little burned from it, maybe felt a little cold and distant from it. But this Queen is like not focused on the stress. Like the Queen is focused on giving it to the universe, which is good. And then you have the Ace of Swords, so there's clarity coming in about something. I feel like whatever you're dealing with, you're going to be victorious over it. Because I feel like you've been maybe gathering some information about something, but there's some mental conflict with the Five of Swords. But I feel like you're not letting it overpower where you're at. You're kind of like, okay, I'm going to sit with this. But you could be, it could be financially related or materially related with the Pentacle, where it's like, okay, I'm just going to focus on my hobbies and work through maybe my anxieties, or maybe the mental conflicts that you might be facing. Like you're choosing to work with your hands to process mentally what's going on, or something of that nature. You could have a situation where you're like, this person came back around, or people came back around, and you're like, I don't want to deal with any of this stuff. I don't know who to talk to, or, you know, like I don't want to address, you know, this person. Whatever the situation is, it's different for everyone. But whatever it is causing you mental conflict. So if it is over a partnership or a past partnership, you're, again, giving it to the universe, and you're just like, I'm going to let the universe decide. Which is that's a good position to be in. Because you're still sitting as the Queen of Pentacles, which tells me that you're very grounded in this decision process. And I feel like you've been maybe dealing with somebody or something that has been lingering for maybe quite some time. But with Judgment being here, it's like you have to deal with it. It has to be dealt with. But I almost feel like you're literally giving it to the universe, which is great, because the universe will deal with it. And I almost get a sense that there's like a strong ancestor presence here, where if you're asking your ancestors to be like, hey, can you guys just deal with this, because I don't know what to do, they're going to hear you, and they're going to deal with it, and they're going to work with you, and they're going to help transmute some of this energy. Because you know, like, it's just, there's a lot here when it comes to just clarity, people, money, financial situation, stress, anxiety, feeling at odds with something that maybe went down in the past. But this is also like, this could be like mental defeat, but with the Queen of Pentacles, I don't feel like that's mental defeat, because I feel like you're just like choosing to walk away from it. Because if, with Judgment behind the Queen of Pentacles, I don't think that it's like mental defeat, as in like whatever you were dealing with kind of, like, it didn't like win, quote unquote. It's like you took your power back. And you're like, I'm going to refocus my energy in a more positive direction. And that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. Yep, that's definitely a good thing. Dealing with the Lovers with Judgment. See, I'm not seeing another person. I feel like they're hidden. I feel like if you are dealing with another person, like they're not revealing themselves to you. If you are dealing with another person, you might not know it yet, but it's like you feel it, and it's like you're not sure, like maybe somebody's been kind of like lingering on the outside, or maybe like kind of indirectly saying something that they need to be direct about, and you're just like, I don't have time to like play these games. Like, say it or not. Like, send the message or not. Like, don't keep like dancing around a topic. Which is interesting for water. That's interesting. But it's like having to make a decision and knowing which decision you want to make, and like looking into the direction of it, being like, this could be a possibility. And I'm not sure if that's your energy or if that's maybe somebody that you're dealing with. This could also apply to, again, an opportunity that could be like a partnership in a sense where it's not romantic, but it could be maybe a past friend coming back around that maybe wants to balance out the scale here. And I say friend because of that Five of Swords over top of the Lovers. It could be a little, it could be friends. It could be like past friends that maybe want, like maybe, you know, people you haven't talked to in like 10 plus years. Where it's like, oh my gosh, like, wow, like we had a little bit of a falling out 10 years ago or whatever. Like, that's 10 years ago. You know what I mean? So there's like an energy like that too. This is interesting. But there's like a feeling of being guarded towards maybe offers or opportunities that are coming towards you. Like, don't block yourself off from things. You know, be open. Don't be, because you're sitting as the Queen of Pentacles. Don't be closed off to things, because you might be surprised at what comes through. Because with the Wheel of Fortune here, I feel like you've gained clarity on the past, but there's something here in the future that like hasn't been like written out yet, that's completely up to you. Ah, there's the King of Pentacles. There we go. Yeah, you could have another person here, but it's like they're not here yet, or they're not revealing themselves yet. There's a truth here. This could also be taking action towards something, because the King of Pentacles takes action, but sometimes they take a little bit longer to take action because they're the King of Pentacles. They like to move at their own pace. The Queen of Pentacles likes to move at her own pace. The Queen of Pentacles is more receptive. So maybe you're moving from a receptive place into a more action-oriented place, but you're remaining grounded in the process. You could be working hard towards something. You could be working hard towards a goal. And again, I keep getting pulled back to this whole thing where you could get put in a position where you are meeting someone, or someone from your past could be coming back around. And this could be just simply for like, this could just be somebody who's coming in just simply as a support, just simply as a friend, just simply, it doesn't have to be romantic, but this is somebody who's going to match your energy when it comes to your goals and what you want to do. And so now I feel like I'm getting very redundant and repetitive because I went over this a lot with water. And usually when I get to that point, that means that the energy is kind of starting to overlap. So with all of this being said, stay in your self energy, release the things that you need to release. See if you can identify any stagnant energy that you need to let go of. Try to go outside and really move your body. And if you can't go outside, move your body indoors. Like maybe do some yoga, do some stretching, maybe do some Tai Chi or whatever works for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when you move your body, you're allowing your body to release what's been stuck in it. And sometimes that's what we need. That and a salt bath. And when we figure out the attachments that we're holding on to and we can release them, that's when new things can come in and we can really be present for those new things. We can really fully embrace it because we're not being bogged down by the attachments and the feelings and the emotions of the past. And it's tough because everyone's human. Everyone struggles with that. I go through the same thing. I have to constantly remind myself to like let stuff go because it's, not in my control. And when we can create that reminder for ourselves, it makes it easier for us to snap back into it. And like kind of like a rubber band where like we stretch out a little bit and then we come back, and then we stretch out a little bit and then we come back. That's the human experience, right? Like we're learning. And so navigating human emotions is really hard. Like emotions are tough. And when you navigate emotions and you start to really identify your emotions and sit with them, it's tough. Like it's a lot. And so it can be very overwhelming, especially because you don't realize how long you hold on to things. And sometimes it could be stuff being held onto for 10 years that you're like, oh my gosh, I thought I let that go, but your body didn't let it go yet. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's important to track yourself and to track your feelings and your attachments and to just keep a journal if that's your method. And if you don't like journaling, even like a dump journal, I don't know if anyone's familiar with that, where there's no like right or wrong way to journal. Like you can just journal with photos. You can cut things out of magazines and you can piece together a collage that represents where you're at in that moment, and that's how you communicate, and that's okay too. Like journaling isn't always about picking up a pen and having all these sentences and structures. It's not all about that. It can be messy. It can be fun. So make it messy and fun. You know what I mean? Make it about connection with you, because that's really what it is. As we can reconnect with ourselves, that's where I think the healing really can start to begin, because we can start to identify what it is we're carrying. And sometimes it comes out messy, and sometimes it comes out in colors, and sometimes it comes out in scribbles, and sometimes it comes out in stickers or whatever it might be. But I think as children we know that, and we naturally connect to that immediately. But as adults, we're sometimes put into boxes, and sometimes we have to pull ourselves out of those boxes and put ourselves back into self-energy, which is what I see here with this Queen of Pentacles, of really stepping out of that like mental conflict and just being like, you know what, I'm going to give it up to the universe, and I'm going to focus on myself, and I'm going to nurture myself. And that's beautiful. And so that's where I'm going to end it, because I think I've said everything I need to say pertaining to this reading. And in the last video that I did, the one 2 days ago, I think, or like a day ago or so, or whatever, that video I said a lot about the attachments and whatnot. So, but yeah, I think I'm going to end it there. So I just want to let everyone know that I am still doing readings. So if anyone is interested in that, please email me. Do not hesitate. I still do readings, and I will see your email. I still do it the same exact way. yeah, so if you have any questions about that, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. I think that's it. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.